Hi, folks, and welcome back. It's Jim from New Hampshire Card Hunters, and we've got some brand new content for you tonight. Um, as you probably figured out by our thumbnail, we're going to be talking about the baseball contract coming up here with the MLB and the Players Association. So I think it's going to get pretty tricky here, and I wouldn't be at all surprised to see some all out um, some all out fighting going on, but. We're going to be talking about that in our middle segment, but leading us off, we're going to have five of these little rascals here, these 2020 uh, Topps Heritage high number hanger boxes. And we'll be looking for autographs and relics in there. We'll give you a quick rundown of the checklist, and we'll do three in the front end of this video, two on the back end, and in our middle segment, which is what we always lovingly refer to as on the docket. We'll be talking about the baseball contract salary cap showdown. So, welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us. Tell a friend, get them over here, start watching it with us. And we got the first lady of baseball here as well, Michelle, to help us along the way. So, without further ado, why don't we get over and take a look at this checklist? So hang on one second. We're going to run right over there and zip right on in. And let's take a look. Now, this is a 225 card set. And the last 25 are short numbered or short printed. There won't be any flip stocks in here or whites because those are only in hobbies. But those are a couple of the things that you would be looking for if we were opening up hobby. We will be looking for autographs and memorabilia cards. So we have a shot at those, and then hopefully we'll get lucky and pull one or two. We also have things like the Clubhouse Collection banners, regular versions, which will have pieces of game used uniforms and bats, golds, and numbered to 99 in gold, and patch 1-of-1s parallels. Also, we've got there's some multi-swatch dual quads. You get the idea. It's all Clubhouse Collection stuff. And then we got the autographed relics, cut signatures, which we probably won't be seeing, I wouldn't think. You never know. Additional inserts. We got it's honoring Ernie Banks, Let's Play 2, which is card number 528, I'm assuming. I haven't opened this product up, I don't think, in a while, so but it combines his famous "Let's Play 2" phrase with the numbers of games he played with Chicago, which was 25-28. And I guess there's some relic cards and game use pieces of Banks has have copies of 25 or less. So that would be kind of neat to pull one of those, huh, Michelle?
Mm. Yeah, I when you said that about played 2,528. That's what the two and then in parentheses 528. That's what that stands
Right,
for.
right. Okay, good point. Thank you for pointing that out to all
The
of our
retired math teacher in
right
me.
to all of our all of our viewers out there following along with us. We also have award winners, dual player combo cards, rookie performers now and then, which compare players from today to those from 1971. Hobby box loaders, we don't have to worry about that. And just zip down here. The the rookie class here is very weak. There's only really three guys that actually, um, actually about four guys, but Pete Fairbanks, David Bednar, Lamont Wade Jr. and Jake Fraley. It's not a loaded class here, ladies and gentlemen, but it is what it is, and hopefully, like I said, we can pull some decent relics, maybe a relic or maybe an autograph. Who knows? Anyway, that's your wrap up on that, and we will get to pulling, well, ripping in just 1 second here. Okay. Let's go to edition back. All right. So here we go. Let's get 3 of them out. Set 2 to the side. Actually, set 4 to the side. 1 out. So yeah, it's been a day. We just got done watching the Red Sox, and like I said, you guys probably figured out by now. My wife and I are Red Sox fans, and boy, they are on one heck of a run. How much, y'all?
You sure are.
7 in a row.
8.
8 in a row.
You just won 8.
Thank you. Right. Thank you. 8 in a row. Right. And it was a nice win today. It was team effort, good defense, decent pitching, and timely hitting.
Yeah.
So
Had a couple of rough spots, but they made it through.
Yeah.
Throwaway
Colom is
pitch.
David Colom is he's a 5 attack. He's a heart
Danny
attack.
needs to throw pitches that are strikes.
It's amazing. I mean,
you have 4-run lead. The guy can't hit a 4-run homer.
The guy
throw him a strike.
The guy comes in, and every time he comes in, he seems to walk the first guy, or he gets behind, 2-0, 3-1, something like that. But it's like, come on, And we were up 4-0. Just throw strikes.
Right. Well, Jimmy Rice said it perfectly though. At post game, he said, what I like most is that they're just picking each other up. Okay, so he wasn't pitching that great, but we got a double play to help get out of that, and that's what they've been doing all year, and they've been learning from their mistakes. I mean, they made plenty of them early on. And they're still making them, but they're young.
It's true. I mean,
and we're loving Chad Tracy. I mean, he's a breath of fresh air. We've been saying that since he came up.
Yeah.
And people were like, I don't know about him.
Manager of the year.
Interim manager of the year.
Yeah.
And there's plenty to choose from.
Right. I mean, he's really done well. I mean,
he has.
Look,
mean, he's not our savior, but for crying out loud, it's nice to hear someone who knows how to talk baseball.
He could have, right. I think he's more straightforward in his comments. He doesn't hide from the facts. He gives you more information. I think he's a more intelligent manager. I think there's not maybe
his
from his father.
IQ
is but he comes
very high.
His father, Jim Tracy, was a major league manager, so I think that goes a long way into, he probably mentored from his father, right, or under his father, and he's really look, early when he first came up, I was thinking to myself, okay, let's see what this guy can do. Let's see how even keeled he is, because I figured it was going to be pretty rough for a while, and I was right. And look,
well,
I mean,
they stayed the course.
Well, yeah, but they were on a wicked losing streak. I mean, they just couldn't get out of their own way, and he could have just snapped, but he didn't. He just was calm as a cucumber, and
stay the course.
Stay the course. But so we like Tracy. I mean, I think it's to give him look. I mean, Alex Cora had plenty of chances. Let's just put it that way. And I don't honestly. I mean, I said this before, and I think the First Lady has too. That this guy Cora, he basically made his own bed. And I think in the end, I mean, after they fired everybody else and they had nobody left to fire, except for Alex Cora, then they had to fire him. When you go through the GM, your pitching coach, your batting coach, your third base coach, your first base coach, your bench coach. I mean, come on, there's nobody left. General manager, they're all gone except for him. So, I mean, look.
He got more chances than Tito. We've said this before. He was given more grace and latitude than Tito.
Oh my God.
And John Farrell.
Right.
I mean, come on now.
Sure. Oh, no.
I could have managed the 2018 team.
Well,
they didn't need a manager.
I've always said that, I mean, he's blown more games. I mean, his mentality was when they won the first 2, I'm going to rest guys. You don't rest guys.
No.
If you
metal to the pedal.
I mean, look,
pedal to the metal.
If you got somebody banged up, fine. No problem, but
This
Yeah.
guy's getting paid good money.
Oh yeah.
Play the game.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's break this.
All right, here we go.
There we go.
All right, first pack, leading us off. Luis Torrens, Chad Wallach, excuse me, Trey Wingenter, Kelvin Herrera, and he has a rookie performance with Aristides Aquino. Where is he now? He's gone. He's long gone. This guy was another guy. This is what we were talking about. My wife and I were talking about this earlier. That you have all these rookie guys, these rookie performers that came up over the last 4 or 5 years, and I've been watching all of these influencers out there that have done nothing but put these guys on the moon, and this is a perfect example of a guy that was hyped up to the next level, 2, 3 levels, and he just petered out.
Yep.
Brian Goodwin, Yolanda Mendez, jeez, Sergio Romo, and Luis Rengifo ends that pack. So nothing special there. Let's try a couple of more of these, shall we? We were talking about the All-Star selections, and
American League.
American
Shame
League.
on you.
Right. Yes.
Shame on you.
Sonny Gray, 11-1, folks. 11-1 with a ERA of like 2 something.
2.56, something
Yeah,
like
2.56. He's not even on the All-Star team. What's going on here? What?
Ridiculous.
Who did he upset? That's
He
what I
must
want to
have
know.
pissed somebody off somewhere.
He's got #1 in wins in either league, National or American League, and I think he was, well, I did a little search on him. He was about, at the time of his last start, he was like 9th in ERA, but both leagues combined. So he was 9th. He was 2nd in the American League.
I think he's first now because of his performance.
Oh, ERA?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think he skipped down to 2.54 or 2.56.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a lower ERA than the Nick Menendez. Is it Menendez?
Menendez.
Yeah.
Martinez.
That they replaced Ranger Suarez with. He has more wins and a lower ERA.
This is a travesty.
It is.
This is a travesty.
It's a joke.
I want anybody to tell me. Okay, all right. Anybody out there watching this video,
Please make a comment.
I want you to tell me the last time a pitcher was 11-1 at the All-Star break and didn't make the All-Star team with a 2.5 ERA. You guys let me know, because I don't know of one, and I've been watching baseball a very long time, and I can't remember ever seeing it ever. It's ridiculous. I mean, they had Ranger Suarez. They picked him. He was 4-3. Come on, give me a break. All right, next pack.
We could keep going, folks. But we're not gonna.
Salate, Jake Marisnick, Kyle Farmer, Adolis Garcia. What we got here? We got Now and Then. Walk off, Will. Here he is, the Dodger boy. Catcher. He's good. Will Smith's a good player.
Yeah.
Jake Diekman, former Red Sox. David Bednar. There's one of the rookies right there.
And it's signed.
Well, no, it's a facsimile.
Right.
But. Yeah. And Franchi Cordero, old friend Franchi. Garrett Stubbs ends us with that pack. Let's look at this one. Yeah, I mean, boy, it's like I was like, I don't know what he did wrong. I don't know who he upset, but I mean, someone should talk to Schneider, the Toronto manager from last year that they fired, who I believe is going to be manager of the American League, and they should go up to him and say, listen, can you explain to me why you didn't pick Sonny Gray? Why is Sonny Gray not
it's ridiculous,
not on this All-Star team? Can you give me a reason why? And I'll bet you he's not going to be able to give you a reason why. Travis d'Arnaud, Cole Hamels, Sheldon Noose, Jake Fraley. That's the other rookie. Yeah, 2 of them right off the bat. I mean, it's only 225 cards, but that's pretty good for 2 packs.
Yep.
We got 18 cards in here, or 27 cards. Ivan Nova, Jonathan Lucroy, Seth Mahias Breen.
Yeah. What I would
100
do.
pence. He was a giant fan favorite. And Ryan McBroom, another rookie, but I don't think he's around these days. He could be. I don't remember hearing of him. Do you?
Nope.
But we were. I was also looking at. We were talking about because they made a comment about Tommy John surgery. Someone come off Tommy John surgery, so I was thinking about Tommy John, and I said, I said I was saying to the first lady, I'm like, I said, I wonder how long Tommy John played, because I said I know he played a long time, the Dodgers and the Yankees and so on. Yeah, folks, he played he played for 26 years in Major League Baseball. Now, I don't want anybody to cheat, but there's only been 3 men that have played in pitchers that have played 25 years in the major leagues. I didn't talk with the first lady of baseball on this, so I'm going to let her take first crack at this. Who do you think the other two are?
Oh my goodness, that's a lot of years.
I mean, how many guys were durable enough, do you think?
Nolan Ryan played for quite a few teams.
That's one. You
Hey,
got him.
I
You
got
got
one.
him. 27 years.
Yeah,
He's the only one that
has
beat
played more.
that beat
Wow.
Tommy John.
Look at me go.
And there's one guy below Tommy John by 1 year. So he played 25 years. 25. Now, he's in the Hall of Fame and he's still alive. Next pack, Ryan Cordell, Jason Kipnis, Matt Strom, Joey Wendell, and there's our boy, Justin Verlander, award winner. Surefire Hall of Famer, don't you think?
Better be.
Right. Tim LaCastro, Nomar Mazara, Dallas Keuchel. That's the White Sox pack here. And John Birdie. First pack of that second blaster. Hanger, excuse me. I'll give you a hint. He played for the Twins. You might not get it, but I'm going to give you a little time to mull it over. Next pack, Tyler Mahle, Chris Davinsky, Chris Davis. Here's one of the guys.
Can I phone a friend? My brother Scott's a huge
No,
Twins fan.
no,
Can't phone
that's
a friend.
cheating. That's
Dang
cheating.
it.
No.
Okay, sorry. Get back to the break.
Yeah, Chris
Chris
Davis
Davis.
is still
Yeah.
old deferment money. Yeah, he's one of the guys. This guy right here, ladies and gentlemen, is still getting deferred money from his contract with the Orioles. Josh Harrison. We'll get into that in a little bit. And World Series highlights. There he is, Steve Blass, right? Yeah. Yeah, Steve Blass. He was a good pitcher. Doesn't say it on there, does it? No. But that is Steve Blass. Yeah. Doesn't say it on the back though, does it? No. No, it does not. Oh yeah, there he is. It mentions him. Blass was the guy who beat us. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's Steve Blass. Cameron Maben, Maikel Franco, and Emmanuel Margot, Shogo Agiyama.
I'm not going to get it, so you may as well tell
Okay. Let me give you one more hint.
me. He loves to do this to me, folks.
It's
with songs, with all kinds of stuff.
think of an animal. Not a dog, but
No way, Catfish Hunter?
nope.
No.
No, that's a good guess though, but he died young.
Because he's not still around.
I can open this pack up. I'd be pretty happy about that. Oh,
I was going to say, I'll open that up. You can tell people.
Yeah. All right, third pack of the second blaster hanger. I keep calling these blasters. Kian Wong, Jack Mayfield, Ronnie Rodriguez, Jose Iglesias, Alex Blandino, Hyun-Jin Ryu, Emmanuel Clase. He's in deep doo-doo from his gambling. taking bribes. Michael Kopech. Hey, there's Pete Fairbanks. There's more. There's 3 of the 4 rookies anyway that
Look
we're
at
looking
that.
for. Yeah. Fairbanks is with the Marlins, and let me tell you something. He's helping them out in the big time. How about the Marlins? They're on a great run.
Mm-hmm.
But getting back to the think of a feline.
Right. I said cat,
Right.
lion.
CAAT.
Oh,
Jim Cott.
Jim Cott.
Jim Cott. Jim Cott. 25 years.
Yeah.
Which because he was around forever too. He played with Minnesota for a long time. Philadelphia, I think. I can't remember all of them, but anyway, Jim Cott. So the 3 men have pitched, at least 25 years or more, and those are the 3.
Wow.
Tommy John second. And by the way, just in case you're wondering, Tommy John had won at least, I think 3 times he won 20 games with the Dodgers. So these things are going to give me trouble here. I was open some of these up pretty easy, but not so much. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So when I first looked at the at his career, I said, well, that can't be right.
Yeah, we had to do the math a couple times.
I said he's been.
It's like,
I said,
what?
yeah, he came up in like 63, and I'm like, that just can't be right. And it was right. It was accurate. First pack in third hanger, Scott Henneman, Corey Kluber. There's a 2-time Cy Young Award winner right there. Corey Dickerson, Ben Zobrist, good all around player. Tampa Bay, Cubs, a little bit everywhere. Hey, look at that! How you like that? There we go.
Wow.
Nice game used memorabilia card
at that.
of Nolan Arenado. There we go. Hey, that's a nice.
That's a good hit.
That's a good. I think so. This is
That's a
another
good
guy
hit.
who's going to be a Hall of Famer right here, guys. You know that if you follow baseball. Oh, look at that. Very nice.
That's a real good one.
Yep, you take it. I never say no.
Although we don't really take these.
No. Oh
Because
yeah.
remember,
Right.
these are all going to be given away. All you have to do if you want to get into a drawing for these, you'll get them for free. Well, 1 penny. Okay. All you have to do is make a comment in the comment section. Just write something about the drawing. And once we get 10, we'll put them in the random generator. We'll spin the wheel
around Yamaguchi.
And whoever it lands on will
yeah,
get it.
Basically what it is, guys, is all we're doing here is every video, if you watched any of our videos, you know that we open up product and we give it all away. You don't have to be a subscriber. You don't have to be a channel member. We'd love to have you as a channel member. We'd love to have you guys along with us as not channel members, but as subscribers. We don't charge for anything. We don't do that. I know a lot of other people do. That's not our style. We don't have any interest in that. This isn't what we're about. We're part of the hobby like you guys. But all you have to do when we open these products, and this is just our investment is your gain here, is leave a comment in the comment section with the word drawing. That's it. Whatever we pull, like this card right here, every card we pull, no matter what it is, no matter if it's a superfractor, no matter if it's an autograph, I don't care if it's Shohei Ohtani.
Yep.
Okay?
We've got plenty of them.
I don't care if it's Aaron Judge.
Yep.
I don't an autograph. We don't care. We're giving it all away. And we want to have 10 people in the drawing before that have use the word drawing in the comment section before we give it away. But then we'll just go on that spin a wheel, giveaway thing there, put all the names on it, and we'll pick out, in this case, there'll be 1 winner. It's 135 cards. So every 1 winner gets everything. So once we get 10, then we'll draw a name. And we'll box them all up. It'll cost you 1 penny. You have to have a PayPal account. Send us the 1 penny just so we can get your address. That's it. Then we'll take care of the rest, the shipping, everything, box it all up, send it out to you. Have fun, enjoy it. I mean, it's
not a scam.
It's
not a scam.
It's as simple as that. Look, guys, I've been on eBay for 26 years. I have a store. We have over well, right around 3,000 items, all graded, all high end. I've been doing this, quite some time, and we're doing this for you guys, not, because look, there's too many people out there that are trying to take advantage of individuals and trying to rip them off, by trying to get them in the breaks and be channel members. And then, look, if that's what these people want to do, that's fine, but that's not our style. We don't subscribe to that type of actions. That's all. That's just who we are. But anyway, so it doesn't matter if I can open this thing up, and you know, I didn't have any problems with the first couple, but this one's all of a sudden deciding that it wants to give me
There
trouble
we go.
here. Jeepers. But yeah, so yeah, put a comment in. While you're at it, give us a like if you don't mind, and tell a few friends about us. All right, next pack: Jonathan Scope, Emilio Pagan, Felix Hernandez, Homer Bailey. Homer's got 2 no hitters as well.
Hmm.
Yeah, I know. He's a guy that's like a 500 pitcher, but he's got 2 no hitters.
Wow.
Imagine Pedro Martinez
Yeah.
and Roger Clemens never pitched a no hitter. I mean, Pedro pitched a no hitter, but it was one in the extra innings.
Right.
So he had a complete game, 9-inning game, no hitter. But the game went like 11 innings. So he didn't get the win or the loss. Now and then, first of many, Yordan Alvarez. This is a guy that could be your Triple Crown winner this year.
I know. Crazy.
Brian Dozier, Luis Sessa, Austin Pruitt, finally, Austin Allen. All right, one more pack, and we're going to take a little break. Going to go over and take a look at what's on the docket. I think you're going to love it, folks. This is going to be great. And we really dug into this one for you. And it's something to keep in the back of your mind as we get closer to contract time here. And the contract, I think, ends on December 1st, something like that. So there we go.
Yeah, I couldn't help notice we were watching the MLB draft today, and every time Manfred took the stage, he was getting booed. That poor guy. I'm like, well,
Yeah, it happens.
it is what it is.
Right. Jalen Davis leads us off. Robinson Chirinos. Jimmy Cordero. Yandy Diaz. Here we go. There's another guy who keeps playing the way he's playing. He's going in too. Great hitter. Having another great season this year. Rays are right up, top of the heap. They're in first place. Stalin Castro. Carter Kibu. Jesus Tinoco. Roman Quinn. And finally, the last card of this pack is Drew Steckenrider. All right, so hey, we got this guy, and we got 2 more to go. Plus, we got the rookies. So let's take a little break here, and we're going to get into what's on the docket. We got a nice PowerPoint presentation for you. I think you're going to like it. It's pretty informative. Spend a little time trying to put it all together. But the whole premise here is that as we lead into this, what you want to think about here is that the way baseball is going right now, team salary wise,
Crazy.
it's out of control. And I think baseball has finally decided here that as hard as it might be, if a lockout is to come, then we certainly have to consider that avenue as baseball goes forward with the players union. And I think what you're going to see here is that I think the teams themselves, the franchises, are working with the Players Association, have already given into a couple of demands with raises to players that have 0 to 1 year and 2 years, giving them big raises. But from a fan perspective here, I think what baseball is trying to do here is really good for the game. And we're going to get into that in just 1 second. So hang with me here. Let's get into...
And just so you all, maybe this is your first video that you've watched, we do not mind people leaving comments. where they disagree with us or give us a different viewpoint, we're fine with that. We don't claim to be the know-it-alls and the you know the be-alls and end-alls. We're just giving our viewpoint
Well, look, if
and
you
our research.
yeah, if you got something to say, by all means, leave us a comment. Let us know.
Yeah.
If you got an opinion, if you got um, something to add,
If you know why Sonny Gray has not been picked, let us know.
yeah.
Love to hear it.
I'd love to hear people's comments on that.
Yeah,
It's a travesty to me.
it really is. But anyway, let's get on the docket because you've put some time and effort into this one, and
Yep.
not that he hasn't the others, but
All right, we're going to start this slideshow right here and from the beginning. Where are we here? Come on. Slideshow. There we go. Okay. All right. So here's what we're dealing with here. Now, in our first video, in our first slide here, you'll see what they're talking about with the cap and floor. Now, baseball is proposing this, the MLB. In this proposal, they would install a salary cap and floor with no club permitted to exceed the cap and all clubs required to comply with the floor. In 2027, the salary floor would be set at 171 million, 0.2 million, meaning that 12 teams would be required to increase payroll by a combined 617 million to meet the floor, enabling more clubs to pursue free agent players and retain their homegrown stars. Those 12 teams, based on 2026 opening day payrolls, are the Marlins, Guardians, Rays, White Sox, Cardinals, Nationals, Pirates, Twins, Brewers, Athletics, Rockies, and Reds. The salary cap for 2027 would be the cap itself would be 245.3 million, meaning A clubs, the Dodgers, Mets, Yankees, Blue Jays, Phillies, Red Sox, Padres, and Braves would all be required to reduce payroll by a combined $578 million. Salary cap and floor figures would utilize competitive balance tax payrolls, which include benefit costs consistent with the current format, projected to be about or approximately 23 million per team in 2027. So, right there, what you're seeing here is that there are 12 teams that are under that cap. And some of these teams, like the Marlins and the Rays, the White Sox, they only have like $90 million payrolls. So, what we would see here is all of those teams would be required to bump their payrolls up, and we're going to get into some of the reasons on how they'll be able to do that through revenue sharing and so on. So let's get to the next slide. So the proposed calorie
I love it.
yeah, I know, I couldn't help but get
Yeah,
Bryce
you had to be
Harper in
Bryce
here.
Harper.
The proposed salary cap would be slightly higher than the current CBT threshold, which it stands at 244 million. According to the league, the salary cap and floor system would create a more even playing field, giving MLB greater flexibility to address some of the players' long-standing concerns regarding the reserve system, which ties a player to a club that originally signed with them for 6 years of their major league career before they are eligible for free agency. Over the past decade, MLB's regular season and postseason have been dominated by large market teams, with nearly 80% of the teams in League Championship Series, 85% of teams in World Series, and 90% of teams to win a championship have come from the top 15 market. Now, let that sink in for a minute, ladies and gentlemen, because that's really what's going on here. When you look at the Dodgers and the Yankees and teams like that, um, what's really happening here is that it's hard to compete with a team like the Dodgers that's spending, you know, $500 million on players and trotting out all-star teams. It's just not right. I mean, and when you're a team like the Marlins or the Twins or any of those teams, Nationals, those types of teams, I mean, it's just not fair. And look, shouldn't we have a league that's of players that's spread out more evenly? And I think that's what they're trying to get at here, to to take away some of this ability of well-funded teams that have a lot of, let's say, venture capital and money that they can put into players to help them keep winning, but at what cost? And what does it do to the league? And I think we've already seen a lot of fans, at least from I've been hearing from a lot of fans that I've been talking to, that they're tired of it. They want a salary cap in here. They want changes made. So as we get into this a little bit further, we're going to get into that, and we'll run run down those types of things for you. So since 2012, only one team from a bottom 15 market has won a World Series, the 2015 Royals. While the NFL 5, NBA at 7, and NHL at 7 have all seen smaller market teams win it all under salary cap systems. So there's a really good example that teams that are under a salary cap, that necessarily like a Green Bay or somebody like that, they can win. They have the chance to win. They can compete with everybody else. It's just good. It's good business. It's good for the players. It's good for the owners, and it's also good for the fans. The trade-off is straightforward here, folks. Baseball's highest paid stars would surrender earning power at the very top of the market, and I question whether how much they'd actually lose out here, because if you're a player like Shohei Otani, you're still going to get paid. If you're Bryce Harper or you're Aaron Judge, you're going to get paid. That's the way it is. That's how it is in every league. It's not just baseball. It's in football. It's in hockey. It's in basketball. It's everywhere.
And how much money do you really need? Really?
I've said that 100 times. I mean,
mean,
1,000 times
really,
maybe.
you're playing a game that you love at, yes, an extraordinary level, but you're playing a game, and you're like, the amount of money is just ridiculous. Like,
It
how
is
much money
ridiculous.
do you need?
It is ridiculous, and
It's ugh.
I just, it makes me a little upset that I have to, see guys that I feel don't even deserve that kind of contract. Number one, because I don't think, excuse me, their talent level um, rises to the level of some of these other guys. For instance, I'll give you a for instance. Let's say um, a guy like Aaron Judge, he makes what, 40 million, I think, something like that, 40, 42, something like that. You're gonna tell me that another guy like Teoscar Hernandez or someone like that should get $40 million? I'm sorry. That's like someone being here and being on Mars. There's two different worlds, and they're two different talents, and it just doesn't make any sense at all. It's foolish to even make a comparison there. Um, so that raises what I think is a central question of these negotiations as it pertains to the reserve system. Should the CBA be optimized for a superstar who reaches free agency, or for the typical player whose career ends before arbitration? The player's overall share of industry revenue is not likely to change dramatically, if at all. Under MLB's proposal, it would remain a 50-50 split where it typically hovers. What changes is the reserve proposal is how that money is distributed over the course of a player's career. This proposal is a pivot. It focuses on the 98%, not the 2%. This century, baseball increasingly is a sport where value is created early, but compensation arrives late. Younger players are producing more wins than ever before, while veterans continue receiving a disproportionate share of a payroll. The economic proposals taken together attempt to address the mismatch, while also leveling the financial disparity in the game, allowing baseball a better opportunity to grow. Agree or disagree with that, First Lady?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely agree with it.
Who
Yep.
wouldn't who
I
wouldn't agree
mean,
with this?
I mean, we can just look at our own Red Sox and how some players came up and they flashed the leather and they looked great. And now we're sitting there with probably one of the highest payrolls at Worcester with the Woo Sox. I mean, you know, I mean, it, prove it, prove it. But 98% of the players are not those big name, and yet they get paid so little compared to the the big games. And without those 98%, where would those 2% be?
Well, first of all,
Crazy.
let me just lay this out for everybody. This is a team sport. It's a
Supposed to.
25-man roster. One man, one man does not alone make a team.
Nope.
Neither does two or three, by the way. And when you look at a team, and we'll look at the Red Sox just because we're more familiar with them. I watch baseball all the time, and I'm familiar with
We
all the
watch
teams.
all teams.
But
Yeah.
we watch every team. But when you look at what the Red Sox have here, a guy like Durbin, a guy like Monasterio, a guy like Wilson Contreras, a guy like um,
Say Don.
Connolly Early, a
Yeah.
guy, there are all
Peyton
kinds of,
Crowley.
right. I mean, Justin Slayton, all of these guys contribute, all are key members and all contribute to the game and to the outcome of the game. And at any point in time, um, because they've all contributed it and played good defense and pitched effectively and played and come up with big hits. That's why this team is winning. It's not because Wilson Contreras carried this team on his shoulder. It's not because Garrett Crochet, let's say, who's hurt right now, um, you know, put this team on his back and decided that he's going to just go out and win every single game that to stop any bleeding. And that's why Sonny Grace 11-1 because he's got good defense behind him. He's got just enough hitting, and at times he didn't get any hitting, right? But he didn't give up on this team, and that's what I like about this team. It's a blue collar type of team, but a lot of these teams, a lot of these guys are not getting paid very much.
Yep.
And what is so wrong in sharing the wealth? If you're Aaron Judge, or if you're a Bryce Harper, or Shohei Ohtani, or Freddie Freeman, or Mookie Betts, any of those guys, shouldn't you want, I mean, is it all about you making 40, 50, 60 million? Or would you rather be in a position of saying, you know what? I don't need 40 million. How about you just pay me 25 million and you pay some of these other guys that so they can actually live, so they can actually, get by. I mean, if they're making 200 and something $1,000, right? I mean, and we're going to get into this in a minute because we got some slides that are going to show the increases. But if you're playing at the league minimum, you're not making that much money. Sure, at the major league level, you get your expenses covered, you get your meals, your planes and all that. But in the minor leagues, you're on a smaller salary, a smaller scale,
Yep.
smaller, stipend for your food and all that type of thing. It's just wrong. The whole thing's wrong,
And
and
yeah, and I'm not a Patriots fan, but I always respected Tom Brady for taking less so they could sign other guys.
no question.
You know, I I'm like I said, I'm not a Patriots fan. I I'll cheer for them when they're not playing my guys, but
Right.
but that was something that I really liked and respected about Tom Brady.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, look, it makes perfect sense. I mean, and I don't see why anybody would not want to do that unless they're so conceited, so self-centered, so
Gee,
egocentric that they just can't. All they see is when someone says, "I don't agree with you," all they see is red. So
yeah.
yeah. But let's get back here. We're gonna keep rolling through the slides here. We don't want to we like to give you our 2 cents, and certainly we want your 2 cents. So don't be afraid to leave a comment. Tell us what you think. Tell us if you like it. Tell us if you agree with it. All right, let's
Or
get
if you
back
don't.
there. Let's get back there. Let's do this. Let's go. All right. Let's slideshow from current slide. Okay, here we go. All right. So
we went through that.
we went through this one. Let's get to the next slide. All right. This is one of the things I really love right here. This should never be happening in baseball.
It should never have.
It should, because what's going on here is that you've got teams like the Dodgers that have taken full advantage of this clause, which is the deferred compensation clause. So under the new contract, if it gets passed, no new contract would be permitted to include deferrals. Current contracts that include deferred compensation would be unaffected by this change because basically they're grandfathered, right? For everybody out there. But I put in a little note and I said they should also limit bonus incentives as well and close out that loophole. Now, if you want to give somebody, let's say, a bonus for winning World Series, I'm okay with that. But if you're going to say, hey, we're going to give you an extra $1 million, because let's say that they want to reward Shohei, so they could say, well, if you hit 300 or 280, we'll give you $1 million. If you hit, let's say his average is, I don't know what his average is for home runs, but let's say his average is 35 home runs a year, whatever, 40. I know he's had some great years, but let's say they say, oh, if you hit 30 home runs a year, we're going to give you $5 million. That's defeating the whole purpose here. That you're going, if they come in and they change this deferral to allow nobody to either on the back end of contracts to do deferrals, then they shouldn't allow people to like just throw in these random bonuses just so you can keep somebody happy. Right.
And so this deferral thing that he's talking about is like Shohei's salary.
Yes,
it's 60.
It was 62 million.
Okay.
And 60 of it is deferred.
Right, 60 of it's deferred, which means he's only getting $2 million a year. And then later on, so there's only $2 million counting towards the cap. If I
yes,
am reading that right. Okay.
But the reason that they're doing that is they're circumventing the salary cap.
Yep.
That's exactly what they're doing.
That and they're also circumventing taxes.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
I mean taxes as far as income taxes.
Right.
You get taxed a whole lot less on $2 million than you do 62 million.
Well, but all I'm saying here is, and they've done this with several players, by the way.
Right. He's not the only one.
Glass now is another one.
Well, Chris Davis. That's why he's still.
Well, Davis with the Orioles, but I'm talking just on the Dodgers.
Right.
They got, I think, Teoscar Hernandez was one. Glass now was one. The other lefty that they have over there, Yamamoto, I think he took deferred money. So all those guys have got deferred money. So basically, if you had to put all of that money into the current salary that the Dodgers have, their salary would be like $500 million. So they'd be like so high over the luxury tax that they'd be paying this enormous amount of tax, like the First Lady was just saying. But by doing that, by deferring all that money on the back end, they basically circumvented their ability now to go out and get other players and have them do the same thing to those players. And now you've got, let's say you're at even 300 million. Okay, you're a little over the cap, but you're not like so far over the cap that no one can see anymore. I mean, it's erroneous. And so this should definitely maybe the Players Association doesn't want to do this, but this is good for baseball right here, and it's good for all the teams, and it's good for the fans. So they should definitely get rid of compensation here, deferred compensation, because that's just I've been arguing this for like 2 years, 3 years. As
soon as I heard that they were doing that, I was just like, that's just so wrong on so many different levels.
It's wrong. It's wrong.
Pretty much cheating.
And it goes against
cheating without cheating.
It goes against the creation of the rule, right?
The spirit of the rule.
The spirit of the rule, right? Yep. And if you're if you want to defer a little bit of money, up to let's say you could, even if they said, okay, we're going to allow deferred compensation, but it can only be like 10 million total, something like that, then you really couldn't use it to your advantage anymore.
Right.
So then you wouldn't see Shohei Ohtani getting $60 million a year deferred. It's so dumb.
How many dog toys does this dog really need?
Right. I mean, come on, he's making 62 million. Come on. I mean, plus
If
let's
he
just,
can live on 2 million,
well, and all of the endorsements he's got.
oh, I know.
God, it's
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Pedro.
Or Pedro. Now, here's another area here that I think this is great right here. I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this. The cornerstone player advantage. MLB is proposing a similar system to the NBA's birds rights that would address the goal of teams being able to retain their superstars. I think this is a rule that should have been put in place a very long time ago, because in the old days, before free agency, before it got out of hand, you would see teams that if they drafted well, if they made a couple of good trades, these teams would be together for a long time, 7, 8, 9 years, and they could have runs. I mean, look at the Yankees, right? Look at some of these teams that had great runs. The Phillies, the Pirates, all those teams. I mean, Oakland A's. You can go on and on the Reds.
Yeah, I
You
was
can
gonna
go
say the
you can go
Reds.
on and on. Houston, and all of these teams had one thing in common back then. They were able to put together a team, make the right trades, draft accordingly. I mean, because like Rose came up through the red system, Don Gullett, those types of players. They came up through the red system. Oakland, right? Same thing with Catfish Hunter and Reggie Jackson, Joe Rudy, Gene Tennis, Catfish Hunter, Blue Moon Odom, Vita Blue. You go right down the line, and that's why they were dynasties. They were good for a certain amount of time, depending on age and talent and health. These teams could make runs of 5, 6, 7 years and just be the dominant team of that decade. And I think what MLB is trying to do here is trying to get back to that, or at least spread the talent out here, which I think is another good idea. So any team signing a free agent from another club would be restricted to a contract that covers a maximum of five seasons and a maximum first year salary of 15% of the cap, which I like. So it's a 202 million total guarantee for the deal starting in 2027. However, a team signing its own player would be able to offer a contract that covers up to 6 free agent years with a maximum first year at salary at 16% of the cap, which would be a total of 265 million for a deal starting in 2027. So right there, and then salaries would be permitted to grow by a maximum of 5% in the remaining contract years. Okay, so what they're trying to do here is say into, oh, I don't know, let's say Pittsburgh, for instance. Let's say they got Paul Skeens, and let's say that Paul Skeens is thinking about going to another team. Well, he can go to another team, but he can only sign for 202 million. Whereas if he stays with Pittsburgh, he can sign for 6 years instead of 5 and get up to 265 million. So the incentive is there for the team that the player currently plays for to stay with that team, and also gives that team the ability through the salary cap, through revenue sharing, to now go out and try to either trade for other players or sign some of their own players and keep that team intact for a certain amount of years. I love it. But the maximum contract length would apply to free agent years only. So basically, what they're saying here is that if you're in your arbitration years, which would be the first, uh, I think 12 from I think the first 6 you don't have arbitration rights. The last 6 you do. So the first 12, which that's why you're seeing a lot of these contracts like Roman Anthony, for instance, sign a long-term deal because now he doesn't have to worry about his arbitration years. He signed a long contract with the Red Sox, so now that all that money's guaranteed. So that it's a good deal for him, but it's not digging into his free agent years. So that's the rub there, right? That's the
Right.
distinction. So maximum contract length would apply to free agent years only, and the projected time as projected at the time of signing. So players who have not yet reached free agency would still be permitted to agree to longer terms. such as recent extensions signed by Connor Griffin, Kevin McGonigal, Roman Anthony, and others. The maximum value of these deals will be determined based on the player's service. So, yeah, so they're trying to cover both ends of the spectrum here. But if you're a player that's been playing for that team for a while and you reach free agency, then it's an advantage for the team that he currently plays for. Gives them the ability to sign that player
Right.
for more money than he could get out in the open market. So
Right.
I love that. I think it's a great change. I think it'd be good for baseball. Spreads the talent out, keeps home talent home, right? I mean, people look. I'm sure there's a lot of Pittsburgh Pirate fans out there that love Paul Skeens, and they'd like to see him stay there for the majority of his career, kind of like Roger Clemens did for us, or Pedro Martinez, or Shohei Ohtani staying with the Angels, right? Right. If those rules are in place, do you think Shohei's a Dodger today? Probably not. Probably not. Next slide. The bird rights like incentive is designed to keep stars with incumbent teams, which is what the fans want to better build interest and emotional connection. This all ties in here, folks, so it gets better. Imagine incentivizing a star like Paul Skeens to remain with the small market Pirates. That's good for baseball. No one wants an NFL where Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen depart from New York for the New York Jets and New York Giants after their rookie deals. Well, no one outside of New York, that is. Star players would oppose earning limitations, but that means dollars will flow to other players as teams will be forced to meet the floor. Again, the pie is going to be split roughly 50-50. This is a question about how one half is distributed. Um, the quote from an agent shared from me from the last CBA talks struck with me. I think there is too much focus on the top 1%. There's really not a middle class in baseball. I definitely think it's been a huge hole for many years. They need to find ways to incentivize teams to spend on the middle class because at the end of the day, stars are going to get their money. And that's what I've been saying all along. Baseball's top earners would lose ceiling income, but that group is a very small portion of the player pool. Consider only 7 players are enjoying a 2026 salary in excess of the proposed maximum annual average value. The other 98% of free agents' contracts today would not be impacted. I rest my case. I rest my case. I mean, I don't know what else to say there. I mean, it's just these things that Major League Baseball that they are proposing, the owners, the commissioner, these are good things for the game, folks. These are good things. Everybody should be applauding this. And if you're Shohei Ohtani or you're Bryce Harper or you're Aaron Judge or whoever, any of the superstar you want to be, then you should be applauding this too. You know, I mean, you
Because
still
those guys that you play with are going to be getting paid more equally.
well, and let me just add this into the pie. The salary cap isn't always going to be 245 million.
Oh, it's
It's
going
going
to
to
grow.
be just like all the other franchises. That is going to rise, and there's a couple reasons why, and we're going to get into those in just a second. But there's a couple of other reasons that the salary cap will keep rising, and how they're trying to pull all of the teams together, and give all of the fans what they want, and that's a competitive team. So this is the part about media revenue sharing here, and this is really important. Here's where things get interesting, particularly from a media perspective. According to multiple reports about MLB's initial proposal, all local media revenues across the league's 30 clubs would be classified as central revenue and subject to the league's revenue sharing arrangements. Under the current system, each club contributes 48% of the local media revenues into a shared central revenue pool and retains the other 52% for itself. That's under the current system. It's a pretty big sacrifice from the large market teams. Think about it. Think about a team like the Los Angeles Dodgers, which pulls in a ludicrous $334 million per year from its local broadcast deal, more than double what the next highest earning club, the New York Yankees, makes annually. As it stands, the Dodgers get to keep more than half of that for themselves and are actually afforded a more favorable rate than the 48% most teams contribute due to an agreement struck with MLB during its 2012 bankruptcy proceedings. Should the salary should the salary cap arrangement move forward, the Dodgers would be sacrificing hundreds of millions in local media revenue over the term of its Sportsnet LA deal and putting it into the revenue sharing pot with 29 other clubs. So think about that. The Dodgers are willing to put in all of that money, 334 million, right? And so let's get to the next slide here. What you might ask yourself, why would they do that? Why would the Dodgers be willing to say, you know what, we're gonna help every other team out. We're gonna help every other team get, come up a little bit, give them more money to be able to meet the salary cap. Well, that's just how valuable implementing a salary cap to the owners, particularly those of large market teams. After accounting for luxury tax, the Dodgers are estimated to pay approximately $580 million for their star-studded roster in 2026. That's over double the proposed 2027 salary cap. That expensive roster has been effective at buying championships, but it has come at the cost of the bottom line. Every large market owner realizes that you don't want to get into a bidding war with other billionaires over baseball players. They're willing to sacrifice an edge on the field to ensure a more sustainable payroll for their pocketbooks. Okay? But what about the small market teams? 11 MLB clubs currently have payrolls under the proposed 2027 salary floor of 171 million.2. A salary cap puts hundreds of millions of dollars back into their pockets of large market owners, but it doesn't do much to help the less wealthy billionaire owners of small market teams. Yes, even at billionaire status, there are levels to this shit. That's where the local media revenue sharing comes into play. It's a wealth transfer from the league's biggest brands, which stand to benefit from the most from the salary cap, to the league's smaller teams. It'll help the 11 clubs that would come in under the salary floor afford a more expensive roster. Crucially, all of this plays into MLB's big picture ambitions. For one, the league would like to improve its competitive balance. So yeah, so I mean, think about that, right? So you've got all the media revenue money going into one pot, and it's being split and given up to all of those teams essentially, and that money is going to help all of those teams make that floor floor salary of 171 million, and also gives them the ability to go out and buy players and, well, sign players, keep players, and so on. So it's a great. It's again. I mean, you're talking the Dodgers, the Yankees, all of these Red Sox, Cubs, all of these teams have regional sports networks, and because they have regional networks, they have all this extra income, and that's what gives them, in part, a lot of the ability to go out and and spend on players. So it's a good thing. Okay, who benefits? Most players and fans, obviously. The union argues that trickle down economics work in the MLB. Yes, elite players have functioned as price setters in the baseball labor market as their earnings influence the free agent, arbitration, and extension markets. But those trickle down economics do not reach the largest cohort of players, the pre arbitration players. They play play at or near the league minimum. Consider that the average career length is 3 years, meaning the majority of players never reach arbitration, let alone free agency. Each year, about 60% of players on the field are in their pre-arbitration years. On opening day, 57% of players this year were at the league minimum or near it. Then, in season, the players who replace opening day rostered players due to injury or prospects who were promoted are almost always playing at or near the minimum. That raises the overall contribution. In 2025, 52% of all service time days were tied to pre-arbitration players. So that says volumes right there. The majority of the players are pre-arbitration players, and they should be treated more fairly. I mean, that's really what we're getting at here. And I think baseball, and look, and I don't think the players union is going to disagree with that. I just don't. I mean, for things like this, it's definitely an advantage. So let's get to the last slide here. The big takeaway is this: the median salary is the league minimum. Also consider the value these players produce. In the combined 2019 through 2025 seasons, 40.7% of WAR was produced by pre-arbitration players. Yet, last year, pre-arbitration players earned just 9.4% of all players' salary. Now, that's pretty high floor, I'd say, almost 41%. Conversely, from 2019 to 2025, free agents earned 61%, almost 62% of all player salaries and produced just 28.8% of WAR. I think we got a problem here. I think we got a real problem. Michelle?
Pretty clear.
Yep. In this proposal, MLB is going to raise the league minimum, or the minimum record, $1 million for players with 2+ years of service time. That would be a record year-over-year increase. Compensation would also jump to $1 million for players with 0 to 1 years of service if they accumulated a full year of service, a $900,000 salary combined with a $100,000 bonus. Those levels would increase as the league revenues increase. The increase is meaningful for those players, no question about it. Consider what the former MLB reliever Rob Scahill told me a few years ago when he was at 538.com. Most grind out a split career between AAA and the majors unless you're a contract guy. Shahill said. For the vast majority of players, every dollar counts for the rest of their lives. Your average major league player needs a job after baseball. And that shouldn't happen. If you play in the major leagues, even for 3, 4, 5 years, you should have enough money to basically survive for the rest of your life, I would think. You know, I mean, and if they're producing as much as what we see here, which is the layout, I would say that, that they've certainly arrived at that. So, yeah. So I mean, as you can see right there, let's get back to this right here. As you can see through that slideshow, the evidence is overwhelming.
I don't think the league is out to screw players.
No.
Quite the opposite, and fans as well. Because I don't know how many times we've signed a player, we like the player, we go out, we buy their jersey, and within a couple of years, bye-bye. They're gone.
This is about fairness.
And this, I would love to have, like, there's a few jerseys that we have that, are timeless. Pedroia will be timeless. Pedro would be timeless. Manny will be timeless. Nomar, there are some players that will be timeless, and you wear it, and everybody's going to remember them.
Right.
But there were some players that we liked. Benintendi, Jason Bay.
Fan favorites.
That, that they were there for a blink of the eye and gone. And so Anyway, I don't think the league is out to screw anybody. I think they're out to try to level the playing field, be more fair to more players, and to assure the fan base a more competitive team
throughout the league.
throughout throughout the whole league, so that you could go to any ballpark and see a good quality game.
Well, just consider this: that not only is Major League Baseball trying to level the playing field, but they're also closing the loopholes. And with the deferred compensation and the raises for pre-arbitration players, right? Those are positive steps. And I love the cornerstone idea, the cornerstone player idea. They just didn't come up with this in like, sitting around a bar saying, "Hey, let's have a
Right.
couple of beers and think about this." No, these were I'm sure many ideas that were kind of tossed around and refined and
Yeah.
refitted in a certain way to make sure that we had the home team in mind here, that we had the small market teams in mind, that we had the, let's say, the 98% of players that would be considered in all of our decision making here, not the 2%, because those 2% are anomalies of the game.
Right.
They're great players. They're outstanding players. They're probably all going to be Hall of Famers. Great, wonderful. We love to watch them. We also like to watch the other 98% of players, the guys that grinded their way through the league, that are
Romy.
utility players that have played for 6, 7, 8 teams, the Tommy Phams of the world. Those guys deserve it too. I mean, they work just as hard as anybody else. Why shouldn't they be treated fairly? Why shouldn't they be treated equally? And this is what Major League Baseball is trying to do. Now, the Players Association doesn't want any salary cap. And I think I think they're coming across as it's wrong. The thought process here I just think is wrong. Because they're not looking at the big picture here.
No,
And
they're
look,
very elitist.
and look, what we didn't talk about in the media part of this was, as all of these teams meet the cap, the floor, and they become better. Your Minnesota Twins, your Miami, well, the Marlins are playing great right now, and so are the Twins. But I mean, let's say you're a Minnesota Twins fan. Let's say you're a Cincinnati Reds fan. Let's say you're a Oakland A's
Guardians.
fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's say you're a Guardians fan. Any of those teams, Tampa Bay, you can go right down the line. Baltimore's another team that has a trouble with the cap, right? Don't you want to see those teams compete? I mean, if you're a real true baseball fan, if you're really a true baseball fan, don't you want to see those teams have a chance to? I do. I do. And I'm a diehard Red Sox fan. I root for the Red Sox. The First Lady does too. But we love watching good baseball and we love watching good athletes. And if they're spread out amongst the league, which I would think would happen pretty quickly because LA would never be able, the Dodgers would never be able to sign all of those guys.
Yes.
They might be able to sign, let's say, 3 of them or something like that. But then they'd have to fill the rest of their roster. And you just can't do that if you're spending, well, even 16% of your salary on 3 players, right? You can't do it. It's like in the NFL. In the NFL, you can have a few guys that are making the money and everybody else is making a lot less. They're still making money and they're making more than they were. And one thing that I will say here is that as these teams get better, well, not the revenues, but the attraction increases for these teams. Like in the old days, like Pittsburgh and Minnesota, they had great teams all the time, and their fan bases were strong. I don't think that their fan bases are that strong right now. So if they had the ability, if you have the ability to like pump those teams up, put more money into their salaries, allow them to go out and buy a couple of big free agent guys, sign a couple of free agent guys, or keep the players that they have that they developed. What's wrong with that? I don't see anything wrong with that. And that's how it was in the old days. I mean,
They'd fill the seats.
look at college, look at these guys that played their whole career for teams. Willie Stargell, Roberto Clemente, uh, Kyle Yastrzemski, Hank Aaron, for the most of his career played with Atlanta.
Most, yeah.
Willie Mays, Willie McCovey, Tom Seaver. You know, these guys played all of their prime years with the same team. Why could they do that? Because you didn't have a salary, you didn't have free agency, and
Through the roof.
right, and a lot of these teams stayed together because they had a good core players and they wanted to stay there. So there you have it, right?
Yep.
So anyway, we're gonna cut it off right there. Anything else to add to that? You want to throw in? You got any last thoughts,
Nope.
concerns,
Nope.
questions?
And like we've always said, if you have a different point of view, if you're a baseball player out there, hey Bryce, if you're watching our video and you disagree, come on and comment.
I want Pedro to call. Pedro.
Oh, there you go.
Pedro's my favorite player overall as a Red Sox. I just love watching him play. He was a great steward of the game. He played with a lot of fire. It was great. It was so much fun watching him. But yeah, we're gonna leave it right there. But if you got any comments, anything you want to throw in there, your point of view, anything, add something that we really didn't talk about, because there's other things in there we didn't talk about in the contract, but we wanted to cover the major points because that's
Right.
really going to make the difference here. It's not going to be these smaller changes, but the TV revenues, the cornerstone players, the deferred compensation, all of that, and just the salary cap itself. It's good for the game, it's good for the fans, and it's good for baseball. It just is.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
We
Two
got
more hanger boxes.
Two more hanger boxes here. Hey, we're doing good so far, folks. Yeah. We're doing good so far. And if you want them, you know the deal. You know the drill.
So we got 3 of the 4 major rookies that we've pulled.
Yeah, I mean, and granted,
and we have a relic.
Yeah, and we got one relic. We got Arenado relic. That's beautiful. Yep. Perfect. Maybe we'll get another one.
Maybe we'll get the other rookie, and we'll have all 4 of the major rookies from this year.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Who knows? We'll see. All right. Starting us off, hang on a second. Corey Dickerson, Ben Zobrist again, Jonathan Scope, Pagan, Lou Bob, who hasn't played for the Mets in forever now. Well, what a disappointment. Yeah. Austin Pruitt, Austin Allen, Kierboom, and Tinoco. Second pack. Yeah. I just, like I said, when I was putting this together, I said to myself, "Oh my God, this is great for baseball. This is so good. I hope the players really see where this game is going and how they can be a part of it." God, Wilmer Flores. Turn this a little bit here. Wilmer Flores, Lane Thomas, Robert Duggar, yeah, okay. Zach Davies, and another highlight card. Love that. See, this is my point right here. This team right here, this 71 team, had a lot of great players that have been there for a long time. Manny Sanguin, Steve Blass, Clemente, Willie Stargell. I'm trying to think of something. What, I don't know if Kendall was there, but Kenta Colby, Al Oliver, all those guys, great. Kenta Mayer, Andrew Kashner, Tommy Canley, and Randy Dobnak. All right, third pack. Rocking and rolling. Looking good. Come on, where are you? Where's the next
good hit? Oh man, the first 2 you did so good.
Yeah. I'm gonna knock something over here in a minute. Put so much pressure on it. Flop the camera out. All right. Third pack of the 4th hanger. Starting us off is Jeff Hoffman, Edwin Rios, Scott Heineman, Corey Kluber again, Stalin Castro. Haven't seen him. Julio Teran, Yamaguchi, Doja, Cesar. Yeah, we saw. I think I must have missed him the first time because he's the only guy I didn't see in there. All right, where's my cutter here? Final hanger of the video. Folks, we want to thank you for stopping by. And like I said, if you enjoyed the video, if you like what we're doing, give us a like, would you please? And that'd be great. And, we'd love to have you as a subscriber. So every time we post content, we'll give you a little heads up. That'd be great. Love to have you. we're trying to do it a little bit differently than a lot of other people do. And like I said, everything you see here is we always give away. So if you want it, leave a comment. All right, first pack. I can never open it, right? Okay. All right, starting us off, Homer Bailey, Jalen Davis, Robinson Chirinos, Jimmy Cordero. Here's another highlights. And Jose Rodriguez, Carlos Rodon, Tony Kemp, Mitch Moreland. Nothing in that first one. Maybe in one of these other ones, though. We got one relic so far. It's not bad. All right. Let's see what number 2 is going to give us here. Okay. Adrian Hauser starts us off, followed by Jacoby Jones, Alex Avila, Ivan Nova. It's a good pitcher for a little while. Robel Garcia. I don't think he was around too long. Brandon Drury. Kenyon Middleton. Jake Bowers. He's with Milwaukee now. He's having a good season over there. And Ryan Hopper. One more pack to go.
All right, let's go.
But let's give us
Another relic.
give us an autograph. We'll take that too. I can open it.
I like the relics.
Man, I don't know why I have trouble with some of these and others I don't. We'll get it. Hang in there, so folks. Working on it here. Wow.
Is it whether it's the bottom or the top?
I don't know. There we go. I got it. Finally. Well, I'm trying not to
Damage the card.
be too heavy-handed here. But sometimes these packs are hard to open. There's Yandy again. Okay, let's see what we got. Yandy Diaz, Aaron Bummer, Miguel
Can you imagine
Andujar.
being a Major League Baseball player? Last name Bummer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Bummer, man.
Tyler Clippard. And then we got Steven Strasburg. Boy, what a checkered career he had, huh? Such a big, hyped up guy, and he was great for a little while, and then, boy, it all came apart. Brandon Kinsler. Greg Bird. No, not going to get anything out of this one, I guess. Zebi Savala. And finally, Sean Armstrong. But we do have that one relic right there, so we're going to wrap this up just in a second. But yeah, if you're interested, like I said, leave us a comment. We appreciate you stopping by. With the word, just leave a word drawing in the comment section. And once we get 10 people who are interested, we'll draw it out and pick a winner. So thanks for stopping by. We're going to cut us off right here. And until next time, we will see you later. So long.